All right, we are getting ready to get started here. Let me turn on my video. Hello, everyone. It's Montina here, and I'm known as Spark Wisdom on my channel. And hey, Sparks, my mission with this channel is to inspire, educate, and share information that helps you thrive in life and thrive in business. If that sounds good to you, subscribe. So I was going to go live on LinkedIn. It was a mess. I was like, couldn't figure it out. So I have to come to YouTube, find a video. But I decided to go ahead and go live since it was on my calendar today and talk to y'all over here on my YouTube channel. And what we're going to talk about today are certifications. It is the number one question that I actually get from people online and my messaging, anything related to business. People are like, I need to get certified. And my question back to them is typically, why do you want to get certified? What do you do? So I'm typically asking specific questions. So let me mute myself over here on YouTube. Okay. So again, I am really passionate about business. I am in business. For those of you that don't know, I've been in business full time since 2014, which means every seed that I have planted in that ground, I have harvested and has 100% paid my bills. It has helped me with my children, everything. So let's get into certifications and why they matter. And I actually have a presentation that I typically do about certifications. So I'm going to go through a little bit of it here. I'm not going to do the full presentation, but you're going to get a lot of it. So let me go ahead and share my screen on my Mac, my desktop. So I'm going to be looking away a little bit. All right, so let's go in here and talk about certifications. This is providing certified small business support. I love small businesses, veteran, minority, women, disadvantaged. I love small businesses. I've been in business again a long time, but let's just talk about certification 101, kind of the ABCs of being certified. My company is a real company, y'all. It's called CIA Media Group. And I just have here, there's no secret to success. There's a blueprint, but we are a digital marketing agency, award-winning. All my information is there. All right. What's in it for me? Okay, when it comes to certifications, you're asking yourself. Everyone comes to me, I want to get certified. All these videos on YouTube about being certified. I was telling one of my clients earlier, I do not take business advice from non-business people. If your business is selling me business, selling me how to get more contacts on LinkedIn and how to do cold prospecting, but you don't have a business, I'm not listening to you. Okay. So I am certified. I am in business. I have all these national certifications. I have government certifications, but I'm going to talk to you about it again, ABCs just today. You've heard about the millions of dollars that some certified companies make, but are you ready? So really, what is it? Just 101 today. So certifications matter. They certify your business, meaning you are certified woman-owned, minority-owned. You are certified veteran-owned. You could be certified LGBTQ-owned. Did y'all know that you can be certified having a disability-owned? There are certifications you pay for. There are certifications that are free. But they matter because they give you access. The ABCs, access to opportunities, okay? Just access. They don't guarantee anything, but you can gain access to Fortune 500 companies, government agencies, and I talk about that on LinkedIn. Starbucks has like 400 plus million that they're doing in renovations in 2023, and they are looking to increase their ad spend with diverse companies. If you do traditional work, traditional meaning concrete, pavement marking, interiors, exteriors, construction, anything that you know that it's very easy to describe what you do. We do plumbing. Okay, you do plumbing. They are looking for your services. There are so many training and educational programs. At the time I'm recording this video, there is a national conference going on for the National Minority Supplier Development Council in New Orleans, NOLA. So there's huge opportunities for training and education, plenty of networking opportunities with thousands of other, what we call suppliers. Okay, I don't want to go in too deep. And then it gives you access to leads for bids and proposals. Again, ABC's access, you can get access to the bids and then mentorship opportunities. And it's a great conversation starter. So it's a great access. You can get access to the bids and it's a great conversation starter. It's really considered the secret to scaling for many businesses. And again, they're a national certification. There are corporate certifications, government certifications. The national you're going to pay for, okay? The government certifications are free. Now, let me go in depth a little bit more. So there are small business federal contracting goals. If the contract value is $3,500 to $150,000, it's automatically set aside. So if you're a small business, $150,000, you get 10 contracts, 9 contracts, you're over 7 figures. So it's really, really important to choose the right business model, because I had someone contact me recently and they said, I want to get woman-owned certified. I'm on the SBA website. I'm having a problem submitting the information, and it's called WASPy. And I'm like, well, what do you do? And they're like, I'm an esthetician. I own a spa. Who needs what you have? What government entity is hiring that service? So many of you all have been sold on needing the services that you don't understand, that so many of you have been sold, on certifications that you don't understand, that if the government's probably not procuring what you're offering. There's no guarantees that they're procuring what you're offering. Buying, okay, purchasing, okay. All right, let me go here. I have to do something on my phone. 150,000 or more, it's a set aside if there are 2 or more small businesses that could do the work, okay? 2 or more small businesses that could do the work. And then, again, there's information there on the small businesses. 700,000 or more, they have goals, subcontracting plan, but they meaning the prime company, can do a good faith effort and say, hey, we looked for small businesses. We couldn't find small businesses. We don't have any small businesses. They're looking. And then 1.5 million or more for construction contracts. And if they don't have, if they're not set aside for small business, they must have a subcontracting plan if awarded to a non-small business, the larger companies. One time, I was walking into a room to learn more about, government contracting really early on in my business. I was like, man, I want to get some contract like everybody else. And I thought I was in the wrong room. And I'm like, I see all these people from AutoZone. I was like, I must be in the wrong space. They were there to learn about contracting opportunities. So the larger companies, multi-million, billion-dollar companies, are procuring. They are selling services. They are selling products to the government. This is, again, government that I'm talking about. Those are goals. And these are just some nice to knows. Again, I'll leave these up. I'll do a whole video around all of the certification nice to knows. But really the thing to know is supplier diversity is very specific to doing work with corporations. Okay. The government is different. Okay. You're talking about subcontracting prime. Those mean the prime is the entity, the organization, the company that gets the main contract. That's the prime company. My company has been prime. You can be a subcontractor. If I get the contract and I say, hey, I need subs, I need assistance with this work, I'm going to hire companies or individuals to do the work. Certified, again, certified, there are ways to certify. Used to be where you could certify as a woman-owned, self-certified. I don't think that's the case anymore. You have to be certified by a third-party agency. And there's things, capability statements, supplier diversity is very specific to corporations. And then debriefing, if you don't end up getting an opportunity or a contract that you bid on, you can ask for a debriefing in the corporate space. You can ask for, in the government space. You can ask for it in the corporate space. They may or may not provide it to you. They may or may not. Okay. Now I'm going to share some of these certifications. Again, 101, what they are, why it matters. I'm going to breeze through it. And then I'm going to do individual videos about each of these. I'm not even going to clip the recording to do individual videos. This is my favorite one, the National Minority Supplier Development Council, MBE. This organization has 27 what are called councils. So there's regions and then there's council. I'm part of the Georgia region, which is the council. We actually are the #1 council in the NMSDC development organization in the council. Okay. So they have small councils. You have to find your region. My company was Supplier of the Year. I've also been awarded the Minority Business Enterprise Advocate of the Year. So many benefits I can't even express in this short live. Okay. Another thing here is the Women's Business Enterprise Council. Again, that is the women certifying, again, if you want to do work with corporations, okay? Corporation work. This is the one where you do have to pay, okay? This one here, you also have to pay, do the corporations. This is a large billion-dollar company that handles staffing needs. Supplier diversity. Okay. I had a speaking opportunity. So again, there are so many opportunities that come along with certifications. I am going to share my favorite certification that's next, and it's the DBE certification. And it helps provide a level playing field for small businesses owned by socially and economically disadvantaged people or entities. Basically, if you're in business and you're not running a multi-million-dollar business, and you don't have a couple hundred employees, you qualify. But here's the thing. Many of you all have these certification questions. You want to get certified. You provide notary services. And you're like, I'm going to be a DBE. For what? These are very specific in the transportation spaces. Department of Transportation. Right now, there is over 900 million that's come out in this space. But if you're not doing pavement marking, or I posted up a whole list on LinkedIn. Let me see, caulking, concrete, hauling, dump trucks, dirt, you're probably not going to get any business in this space. So many of you are in these spaces saying, oh yeah, well, I want to get a DBE for what? Now, if your strategy is to go after other certified businesses and provide marketing services or consulting services or bookkeeping services or accounting services, let that be your strategy. But know that you may or may not be able to get any business just by being certified DBE. But it is, again, my favorite one because across the board, it's easy to, you can get certified in other states. I can't think of the term just here at the moment, but it's very easy to be certified DBE. And then in another state, you're also certified DBE. And there's so many ways to win in that space as well. All right, women-owned small business. Again, you have women-owned small business from the government. It's free. DBE is free. Y'all stop paying people to get you certified. Let me pull up my YouTube, see if you're talking to me. Stop paying people to get you certified. I've talked to you all, and sometimes if I don't get to you, you're like, oh, I paid somebody to get me certified. And I'm like, are you for real? Don't do that. It's free. All you're doing, and I would never do it because you're actually paying somebody to look at all your financials. Are you kidding me? You giving somebody access to your financials? Don't do that. Okay. What you can pay for, I want to see your questions. Okay. What you can't, moving companies, yeah, there is definitely a need. You should schedule some time with me. Hey, Fatima, hey, Sin, hey, Elbu. But in terms of paying someone, you should be paying, you can pay someone as a suggestion to help you identify the certifications that are going to help you get business. So I help people with strategy, but in terms of getting you certified, you send me like, I don't know what certification I need. Okay, let's hop on the phone for 5. I can tell you in 5 minutes, which one, whether number 1, yes or no, should you get certified? And number 2, which one's best for your company and where you're going to make the money. Literally, probably in 1 or 2 minutes. The WomenOwned is free, but now again, because you can't self-certify, you do need a third-party agency, or you can upload your information with SBA, but it's going to take them a long time to approve your documentation. So again, I'm just breezing through all of this because I'm going to be doing a lot of videos around this. I am so tired of seeing small businesses struggle. I am so tired of the narrative that Black women are starting businesses and they're the fastest growing in a space and they're not making money in business. This is not a joke. Starting a business literally can make or break for you for retirement. Some of y'all need to stay in your jobs, and some of you need to leave your jobs and do what you're doing on your job in your business. But government contracts, corporate contracts are the easiest way to scale. So let me address this question specifically about, this new private chat, get out of there. I'm going to get that little mess and move them. So, okay, how do you find out the need? Book some time with me. I can tell you specifically, I can tell you from a moving standpoint, there are opportunities, corporate and government, right? So you have Microsoft, you have Google's corporate spaces where they're using moving companies to move a CEO. They could be moving equipment. Meaning they're moving equipment, they're moving furniture, they're moving items. But that's why it's important to get in supplier diversity. You do not need to get these certifications in order to deal with supplier diversity professionals. Okay, you don't. You can ask questions, and on the websites, they typically have like a general email, but guess what? They answer those emails. They do, because they only have like 2 or 3 people that work in those departments. Moving in terms of moving items, again, from all this money going in infrastructure, you have to think through. That's why it's important to like book time with a strategist not somebody to get you certified, to think through it. And if I was working with you, I'd say, well, what are you moving? What can you move? Okay, well, if they have janitorial services, because they're going to have to be moving and cleaning up after they do some of the construction work, who's going to move those items? Who's moving the cones, right? So we have to start really thinking through these things in our businesses. Yes, there are definitely contracts for graphic design, web design. Definitely. My company is a marketing company. We've done all of these things. They're typically smaller contracts. Yes, they're in the government space. I like to go after low-hanging fruit. So let me go way back in the beginning. Yeah, I could talk about this all day. I'm not going to talk about it all day, but I could. I like to go after the low-hanging fruit. Let me find it, because I need you to see this slide here. Here. Look at this slide here. This is where you are going to some of y'all live in cities and you're not knocking on the doors, the local doors, okay? You have libraries, you have schools, you have county government, you're paying tax dollars. And typically anything under 100,000 is set aside for small business. But a lot of times in the government space, guess what? They can tap that little P card they have under 10,000. Oh yeah, we need some graphic design services. Brandy, we can use our services. But you all are going after these small businesses that really can't afford your services. They really can't afford your services. So understand your price point. Would you rather work hard for a $500 contract or work just the same for a $5,000 contract? So remember, they have the budgets and they do expect to pay. Now, I think that your price point should be reasonable. I'm never the Bentley, but I'm not the Kia. I'm the BMW in between. So I'm not going to be the highest or the lowest, but I am going to be, fair with my pricing. So again, those are things to think through when thinking about certifications as well, because you don't want to be the highest bidder. And again, I'm getting too far into that. Okay. So the WASPy, women-owned small business. But again, if you're getting government certifications at the federal level, okay, that's for federal work. They don't necessarily assist you for local work, county work, state work. Most state, local, they have their own certifications. That's why I'm always talking about this. And then the economically WASPy, EDWOSB, again, is for women with a personal net worth of 750,000. There are some exclusions, and you might think like, oh, I don't have this net worth, but it can be as you're growing in your business, it can be really easy to accumulate a higher net worth, especially if you're married and you all have assets in your retirement. Okay, my veterans, my husband is a retired vet, 21 years retired veteran. And they have so many programs for vets. I'm like thinking like, okay, we have to get him a business started. So that's coming soon, but there are so many amazing benefits. They have the boot camps, business, they have grants available for veterans. And then they have the service disabled veteran owned small business, which is those that have, their service disabled. So you can be a veteran and not service disabled, but you have to be a veteran and service disabled to get the SDVOSB. So, and then the qualified, I have notes, y'all. Y'all should see my screens, these big screens all over. But for disabled veterans, they must be a small business, 51% owned and controlled by a service disabled veteran for the SDVOSB. One or more service disabled veterans managing the day-to-day. Eligible veterans have a service connected disability. So in the past, there were people that would set up businesses and then say, oh, my wife runs it, it's women owned. There's interviews. All of these certifications, they're not easy to get, but they're free on the federal side. I believe and I advocate for small businesses getting certified because it's a differentiator for you. And also it legitimizes your business. So I was showing someone my business card earlier. You're so welcome, Randy. And on the back of my card, let's see if y'all can see it here. See all those certifications, my NAICS codes, my capabilities, what I do. I look legitimate. I have legitimized my people. Look at my card. Sometimes they're like, wow, because I'm legitimate. Okay. Now you can call yourself women owned and not be certified woman owned, but you better not use that woman owned logo because you might get a fine. Okay. And here's the thing. For people that are not a minority or a woman, so typically white men, they can actually qualify for certifications too. They have a hub zone program. Again, I'm not going to go too in depth with this. You can read it. I'm just flying through these slides. Okay, they have Section 3 businesses. If you know anyone that is living in public housing, they have jobs that are available. So how the housing projects were set up. A lot of people were really angry with Ben Carson, but it is what it is. I don't talk politics, but the way that it was supposed to be set up, where these communities were supposed to be built, and the people that lived in the communities were supposed to go help build other communities. Okay, so literally, it was kind of like I'd say a domino effect or a building effect of, okay, well, you got to live here. We get it. You're having some tough times, but we're gonna lift you up and take you over here so that now you can help build another community, and in turn, you can get built up and move out. Didn't happen because the prime companies weren't hiring within and training these people. So this is actually a program set aside for people that live in the public housing. They can start their own businesses, and there is so much out there. So much. Okay, I could go into depth. All right, so people who think they're crazy to change the world are the ones that do. So y'all crazy because y'all on the live with me and y'all watching the replay too. One of my favorite programs to talk about is called the 8A Development Program. This program here is where most of the millionaires in the government contracting space start. Okay, but you don't want to do this until you've established your business, built up some capital, understand business credit funding. You've really built up a business, because you only get like 8 or 9 years to run. They extended it because of COVID, but that'll probably go away. And it really is for small and disadvantaged businesses, but there are literally set asides for this. So for instance, and it's different personal net worth as well and assets. But this one here, this is where the money is. Now, you might say, well, I'm a web design marketing. I know a consulting company in this space, and she's crushing it, because you're literally almost handed contracts. Okay. All right. Yes, I'm married. All right. And then which certification is right for your company? It just depends, because everybody has the grind. Y'all all have the grind. The government is always accepting new opportunities, new businesses, but there's a lot. So people talk about a GSA schedule. Again, it's federal, state, local. You have your cities, you have corporations. Everyone isn't set to do work for the government. If you're a new business, why would the government do business with you when they could do business with me? And I've been around 10 years, right? So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's very strategic. But certifications do not guarantee success. They don't guarantee business. Now, they do give you an advantage because your books are in order and you're legitimized. But I don't know which certification is right for you, because it depends on what you do. Do you have a product or service that is targeted at corporations, retail, or government agencies? Is it innovative? Is it unique? What's your business work ethic look like? I don't know. Do you have the capacity to provide quality service and products on a large scale? So I do have government contracts, y'all. They're not easy. Oh my gosh, they're hard. And typically, I have other people I know in business. So on one of my contracts, I was like, oh, I'll just get my, other business owners that are consultants, because it was a consulting contract providing training very similar to this to small businesses. It was a mess. It was a mess. I ended up doing most of the training. The PowerPoints, they weren't given to me in, time for me to review them properly, to put them in the design that the government entity gave us. It was a mess. I would have been embarrassed had I gone along with these consultants. So again, make sure that you've already vetted people. You have people on your team. Don't think I'm going to get the contract and sub it out later, because that's a way that you can lose. Okay. Are you willing to share the details of your business? Everything. You got to get naked. You got to tell it all. So if you have partners, that makes it pretty difficult. Can you use certifications as a marketing tool? Yes. Do you understand how to market your services? If you can't tell what you do in a quick elevator pitch, yeah, you're gonna have some problems. And you need to work with somebody to help you as you're working with your business. The Small Business Development Center is free. I would start there first. You don't really need to hire someone until you're generating some revenue. Most people look at me, my company, want to hire a marketing company, but typically you should spend 3 to 10% of your overall revenue. You can't spend zero. So I'd say start looking at a service when you start making some money. And then, do you have the capacity to scale? If you're in the construction space, you're going to need at least $100,000 bond minimum. Okay. There's no charge for a bond, but they do evaluate your character. I want to your credit, and there's one other qualifier. So y'all, people are out here saying, you don't need your business credit, your personal credit in business. Yes, you do. These people are such a joke. All right. And then do you have the time, energy, and money to respond to requests for proposals? My first government proposal actually came as a quick quote, an invitation for me to bid on that opportunity. And I was the only person they invited. So again, it really depends. I've been in business several years, 6, 7 years before I started going in the government space. And then I went private, corporate, government, and now my company has just a little bit of everything sprinkled in. This is all of the required documentation. It's a lot of documentation. You got to get completely naked. They want everything. Okay. So you got to file them taxes. You got to talk about your business. Where did the money come from when you started your business? I had one, like my account was closed. I was like, I invested in the business from my money I made at work. Well, where's it at? Oh boy. Okay. So everything is important. You have to list all of your employees, even if it's just you. Payroll, typically, if you have it, but it does vary. And then if you don't have it, when I first submitted all my information, I'm like going back and forth. I don't know what to put. You just put stated, not applicable. Really? It took me a while. So again, if you need help with things like this, I'm happy to help. Don't pay people to help you do this. You can contact the organizations that are certifying bodies. It's hard on the SBA side. So you would just contact me. I'd be happy to assist you. And I really mean it, y'all. I do. I've been on YouTube a long time. I've been in business a long time. I take this seriously. If your business hasn't generated a lot of money, no. So your certification is not contingent on profitability and or sales or revenue or any of that. I do believe there may be one in that government space where you need to be in business. Well, 8A, you definitely can't get if you're a new business. But some of them, I think DBE, you do have to be a year or two in business, but the others, no. My suggestion is to wait though until you've generated some revenue. Why would I work with you if you're a new business? Why? And you have to ask yourself that tough question. Why would I work with you? When I was provided with, I'm just going to say it right, earned my first corporate contract, I had been in business 5 years. And I was like, I was certified early on in my business and didn't have a clue how to use it. You go to these events and people don't want to help you because they're busy helping themselves. I've been around business owners making nothing and business owners making literally $500 million. And they don't, people are just really trying to figure it out. So the best advice I can give is to really lean on your certifying agency to help you, especially on the national side. Go to the trainings, do the work, come to things like this where those of us that have been in business can help you. And when you're able to afford it, hire a consultant. You don't need a coach that can say, I'm going to get you to millions. Oh my God. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos around that foolishness, but you want to think through your business model. I wasted so many times. I wish I had me as a mentor, not a paid mentor. Y'all don't be mentoring for free unless y'all watch these videos. Y'all can watch them, but you want someone that understands your space and can help you connect the dots. Okay. But it's a lot of required information. Doesn't matter how old or new you are in business. The biggest thing is y'all got to do the work. This is not easy. I know they make it look easy on TikTok and Instagram. I don't even have social media anymore except for YouTube and LinkedIn. It's work. I mean, being in business is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, because you're constantly out, you're planting all the time. So the seeds I'm planting right now today are going to be harvested, and it could be 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, it could be next week. But which seeds, think of some seeds that grow fast. They typically grow fast and they die fast too. So if you want to build an apple orchard, I would say build an orchard. It's going to take some time. I'm 10 years in. Okay. All right. So just certification links, just look up these things. Don't get all these certifications like I did early on. Even this year, I'm going to drop my WomenOwned. Sorry, y'all. And I'll do a video and explain why, but you don't have time to do it all. You don't. Unless you have a full team. I've significantly downsized my business by choice. Because I'm married now. So y'all see, and my husband yesterday was off work and was like, hey, baby, came home around 1, like, what are you doing? He had to run some errands. And I'm like, oh, I got one meeting this afternoon. He's like, oh, let's go golf. Well, I don't want to be stuck, so I have significantly downsized. But again, there are a lot of programs. I ran through this fast. I'll be doing a lot more lives like this, y'all. It's easy for me to set the computer up and just talk. But if you got a question about all of this, I have free training. So, and I'm not even like selling you nothing because most of y'all can't afford me yet. There is free training, free. Just go dbprogramsupport.com programs. And it's literally around DBEs, disadvantaged business enterprise. But it's really there to help. Okay. So let me see if you all have any more questions. Let me see, y'all can see me now. So this is part of what I do. When you're in business, make sure that you all understand the certifications because it's going to help drive your day and what you do and what you don't do. I was at a chamber event, moved to a new city. I'm newly married, so I'm really trying to get just acclimated, make some new friends in the business space, see how I can serve and give because I have a long-term strategy in mind. I may one day get into politics, maybe, maybe. So I'm at an event and there's this guy I see all the time that runs an IT organization, but I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, why aren't you going after government contracts? Because in that space, cybersecurity, you have to have a cybersecurity plan in order to have those larger contracts. So I'm like, you're necessary. Like these small businesses have to have you. You're a mandate. He's like, oh, I don't know about that. I'm like, really? This is how I talk to people. Really? So I said, well, can the people here even afford your services? He's like, no. I said, well, how much business have you earned or achieved in a year? He's like, none. I'm like, so what's the point? And that's the same thing I'll say to you as you're watching videos, even for me, y'all. I was on this side of YouTube. My videos looked a little different because I was talking about all this manosphere stuff. I don't do it anymore. I actually started a new channel. When I get it up, I'll post it on this channel. But gotta stay focused. There are a lot of shiny objects out there. There are a lot of people that are, again, non-business owners, part-time entrepreneurs that make a little bit extra cash, telling you can do it. You're going to quit your job. You're going to lose your 401. You're going to spend all your money. You're going to be broke and have skinny kids. And it doesn't have to be that way. There are so many opportunities out there, but you must identify where they are and how you can earn them. I'm only in business to make money. I don't do this for fun. I do because I make money. And for you, you should be thinking about how can I make money in business and build profitability, generational wealth, better communities, drive the car that you want or cars that you want, live in the house that you want, and have the life that you deserve. Okay. So that's it, y'all. All right. Yeah, I'm happy to help. Now I help doing all this stuff for free, but if y'all need marketing services really around strategy, I don't do a lot of implementation. Then if you're, especially in the traditional space and you're not making money, you need to be talking to me. There is no reason why you should not have a government contract. Like just no reason at all. Okay. So that's it, y'all. I love doing this. So let me know, leave me a comment below. Tell me what brought you here or what's going to keep you coming back as I do these live videos. Again, Montina, I'm signing off. Y'all have an amazing rest of the day. And guess what, y'all? Know this. There's no secret to success, y'all. There's a blueprint. Follow the blueprint. Like follow the yellow brick road. Follow the blueprint. There's no secret to any of this. Nobody's hiding nothing from you. Okay. All right, y'all. Have an awesome rest of the day. Bye.